Welcome to the Take Action Podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Simmons, here to help you take massive action to being your best self. Many people don't believe in their own potential and don't always have the courage to change their situation. Join me and other guests as we give you practical ways to releasing your potential so that you can be your best self. Now let's stop playing and take action. What is up, y'all? It's Nicole here. I have an amazing guest with me today, Maricela Laverde, who is a powerhouse woman. She is making waves in the business world. She's a realtor. She is an entrepreneur. She is a woman who empowers other women and others to really maximize their fullest potential. And she does that through a number of different ways. Real estate is one way, but she also has started a movement, a Thriving Kit for Women event that she puts on every year. And she's going to talk about that, y'all. But I'm so excited to have the conversation with her today. Please welcome Maricela to the Take Action podcast show. Hello, Maricela.
Hi, Nicole. Thank you so much for inviting me. I love your podcast. I listen to it and I share it on social media. You say so many important things that people need to hear. And so I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Oh, you're welcome. And it was a pleasure to meet you and to be a part of your most recent event that you had not too long ago. And I know that you are really passionate about empowering women, helping them to take action in their lives in the space that you're doing it. So just to kick us off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm originally from Chicago, and I worked as an analyst for about 7 years, and then I was married, and I became a stay-at-home mom. I decided to become a stay-at-home mom. I did that for another 7 years, and I wanted to get back into the business world, and I decided if I'm gonna leave my babies, I'm going to do it for something that I absolutely love, because I love being a mom. So whatever I do next it's not going to top being a mom, but it's going to be amazing. And so I decided to do a real estate. And so I've been doing real estate for 5 years. And since then, I've been able to just help people relocate, help people buy and sell homes. And then also, it's given me the opportunity to help people buy homes and all, but also just do other things in the community that it's just been a domino effect. I'm the organizer for the Hispanic Heritage Festival, and also I do some Spanish rock concerts in the community. So really impacting the community, I feel.
Yeah, I love how you have taken what you're passionate about and really paid it forward and impacting your community too. And tell us a little bit about this annual event that you put on, Thriving Kit for Women. I had the honor and privilege of being a part of that. Share a little bit about that so that everyone can know about what you do in that space.
Okay, so this event started last year, and it happened after a lot of things had happened in my life. I had, like I said, been a stay-at-home mom, and then all of a sudden, I had started real estate, but I ended up going through a divorce. And that divorce highlighted to me that I didn't know a lot about my finances or my life. I had delegated or just allowed my ex to be in charge of all that. Being a stay-at-home mom, sometimes us women will take care of certain parts of the household, and then your partner takes other parts, and that's great. You're a partnership. But we sometimes can be oblivious to things that we should really get to know, and it doesn't impact you until that's gone. And all of a sudden, you're trying to figure things out. Simple things like your HVAC, paying bills that you had someone else taking care of those things, just so many things. And I just felt that people around me were going through the same thing. I've had a few friends that were widows, several friends that were widows, and they were going through, like, how do I take care of myself and my family? Let me figure this out. Without my husband here, I now have to be in charge of everything. Or women going through divorce. And I found that was a common theme
Yeah.
And I just thought, and especially because being a realtor, people do come to me when they're going through this process and says, all of a sudden I have to sell my home for this reason, or I have to find a rental. And this whole time they've been a stay-at-home mom and they have no credit and they have no income. And those are the things we need, not just to buy a home, even to rent a home. You need to
Yeah.
have income, you need to have credit. And they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have these things. So they come to me and I started to get this anxiety about it because I had just gone through it, but luckily I did have income, I did have credit, but it made me scared for other people. And I said, you know what, we really need to talk to these women and tell them how to take care of themselves, how to take control of their lives. It's great you have someone you can trust and you have someone you love and you have a partnership with someone, but we can't be to the point where we're oblivious about certain things that will be handicapped if anything bad were to happen to us, because as moms, we are responsible for our kids, but we need to be responsible for us. And we cannot, we take care of ourselves, we'll be able to take care of our families, and we can't, it can be lopsided. And so I did survival kit for women. I had invited people to talk about, a financial advisor talk about financing your finances. And she said something so important. She said, we think about self-care as
Yeah.
doing some meditation, eating well, relaxing, doing hobbies, but we don't think about it as financial care is also self-care. It's probably one of the most important self-care besides feeding yourself.
Yeah.
And so we had her speak to these ladies. We had someone as a lender come in and talk about, what do you need to buy a home? I spoke about these things about renting a home and buying a home. We had someone from an inspection company talk about what are the basics of taking care of your house. And we had someone, a counselor, talk about grief. So we had all these people to kind of just have the core of what do you need to take care of yourself, to survive? What are the people you need? You need these people. And so we did that, and it was a very intimate group. And it was so inspirational because it was this energy about it that after that, I had one girl restart her real estate business. I had another girl open up her own business. She does charcuterie boards. And so I had another girl say, I want to buy a house. And so it just really woke them up and made them take action and made them want to get control of their lives. And then I was so impressed by them and so inspired by them that I thought, this is not surviving kit for women. This is thriving kit for women, because these women are bossing up.
Yeah.
And now, since a lot of these women did start their own business and went that route, let's have an event where now we're going to have, instead of this whole thing about the basics of living, let's talk about, instead of a residential lender, let's have a commercial lender. Like, how do you find the place to open up your business? Let's talk about building and having an LLC. Let's talk about marketing and brand photography. And, you were there as well, inspiring these women, telling them to believe in themselves. And so it was the same type of theme about taking care of yourself, but it was, let's talk about entrepreneurship and what are the basics of starting your own business. If you have one, you can now take it to the next level. And if you don't have one, where do I start? Yes. So that was it. Basically, they've inspired me. I try to inspire them, and they inspired me, and they bossed up, and that's how Thriving Kit for Women came about.
I love it. And what a story. Thank you for bringing us through that progression, because we can find ourselves sometimes in a survival mode, but we don't stay there, right? We move from surviving to thriving when we have the right tools and support to be able to take those steps to do that, right? And so y'all, what we're talking about today, if you haven't caught on what we're talking about thriving, right? And the freedom to thrive. And Maricela's sharing with us some of the things that she has done and how she's helping other women, entrepreneurs, stay-at-home moms, just women and as a whole be able to do that. So listen in some more, because there's some wonderful nuggets that I think that you're going to really be able to take from this episode and apply to your life. So back to your story, back to you, Maricela. Listen, I'm so excited. One of the things that I know is important to you, and we've even in our conversations in your own journey, you mentioned a book that you had had read called Untamed. And I love the title of that, especially as we talk about thriving as women. What can you share with us? What have you learned from being untamed to be able to thrive in your life? And how are you helping other women create that space for themselves?
So to be untamed is to not have this perception of what your life should be. Like, I should be this, I should behave this way, but look inside yourself. And when you hear a voice telling you, start your own business, or telling you, you need to make this change or that change, to really listen to yourself, to really, because that's in the inner you telling you, and that's really the universe telling you. And so you need to listen, and even if it doesn't make sense with what you thought your life should be, listen to that part and go forward with it. Go forward with it, believe in yourself. And when you're untamed, you don't just say, this is crazy, this is, why am I thinking this? But you say, maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe that's where I'm meant to be. Maybe this is the next chapter. And really taking a risk. And to do that, it's really believing in yourself, to make those changes, to listen to your voice.
Yeah, belief in oneself is critical, right? We say that, you may have a source, a faith that you ascribe to, and it's like, you know that's there. But if you can't take that and internalize it to believe in who you've been created to be, in the voices that the voice that you're hearing to say, go ahead and do this, you can do it. You have to believe that, right? And so I know that you are also helping other women to believe in themselves to thrive. I mean, even in your real estate space, you're empowering other women there too. So can you tell us, what are some of the ways that you are helping, or we can continue to thrive in our lives?
So I do want to go back and share that I almost didn't become a realtor because in my mind, I saw the statistics, I did my research, and statistically, more than half the realtors will quit before 5 years, and so I knew that, and I think even the number's bigger than that, actually. It's to have a business, to create your own business, it's very hard. And it takes about 3 to 5 years to even have steady income. And I thought, why would I be good at this? Why would I do it? I just thought I'd be one of the majority that just doesn't happen. So I thought, forget that. In my mind, I already lost. Let me go ahead and be an appraiser. So I tried to be an appraiser, even though it's really not my heart, but I thought it's safer. Let's do this. I'm starting my career again at almost 40. Let's go with the safer route. Let's not do crazy. Let's not do real estate. Let's do appraising. That's easier. I don't have to, it's more stable. And so I tried doing that, but to be an appraiser, it's actually very hard because you need to have someone mentor you for like 200 hours. I don't know how many hours it is. And you need to have someone willing to do that. And a lot of the people that are appraisers are older and they don't want to do that. And so it's actually, yes, the work is steady, but to actually become one, it's hard. So then I thought, fine, I'll be a realtor, thinking, fine. And even then I thought it takes 5 years to get steady. My kids are really small right now, so it's okay if I'm not busy because they're small. By the time I am busy, it'll be in 5 years and they'll be bigger. And so I'm going to use this to benefit me because this is going to be so slow. Let me start now. And it ended up being that my business took off after 2 years, but the whole time I did this thinking, A, it's not going to happen. And 2, if it does happen, it's going to be super slow. But I did it. And so I do believe that with people, do it even if you think it's scary. Do it if you think, even though you think you're going to fail, like still listen to that voice, do it scared, do it. Anyways, just do it. And then life will prove you wrong.
Right. Especially when you apply yourself, right. And you don't give up, because I think there's an aspect too of just keeping moving forward one step at a time, even when it's scary, even when you're like, I don't know how this is going to work out. Right.
Exactly.
And you have that, mentality.
You're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready to do something. I mean, people always think like, when's the right time to get married? you're never going to know 100% sure this is the right decision or this is the right time. When is the right time to relocate? You're never going to be 100% sure. Even when you choose your home, you still like, did I pick the right one? What if another one comes about that's better? You don't know. You just have to make a choice because you need somewhere to live. You need somewhere to work. So everything's about taking that chance. You have to, and you're not going to be 100% ready. Do it anyways. I do have a story on that. I'm afraid of heights. And I used to work for an airline, and I had to take travel agencies to Puerto Vallarta, and we did the zip lining. And I didn't even know what zip lining was. But I had to do it because here I'm trying to sell this activity to these travel agents. And so it was about 18 lines, and each line was getting harder. And once you get to the eighth one, you have to finish them because there's no way you can get down unless you go through all of them. And the first couple were scary, but that last one was super scary. It was like 200 meters was from one mountain to the next, other mountains in Puerto Vallarta. And I remember the guy saying, well, here we are. Now you just need to jump. Whenever you're ready, jump. And I said, I'm never going to be ready. Just push me. Just you push me. I'm not going to be ready.
That's good.
And so that's really what it is. You're never going to be ready. I'm not ever going to be ready to jump off a mountain. So just push me.
Right. I love that. And this is, y'all, this is such a great story because this is what this podcast is all about too, right? And bringing guests like you on here to push you. Right. You may feel you might be listening right now and you're on the edge of something, like you just so scared. Yeah. You don't know, you don't have, all your ducks in a row. It's not 100%, but you just know that you have a feeling deep down inside that this is the right direction that you're supposed to go. And even though you don't have everything lined up, we're pushing you right now. We're pushing you off the edge and saying, just go.
Just go.
Just do it. Don't play it safe. Right. And you talked about, Maricela, you played it safe at first, right? So
I did. I jumped, and even when I jumped, I had a harness, I had everything. I saw, 10 other people do it before me. I know it's safe, but it's scary because I'm afraid of heights. And in this case, with your business, I thought it's going to take 5 years. Well, I might as well get started today. And I did. So just keep moving forward. And if it's meant for you, it'll fall in place. It really does.
Right. It really does. And I think that's the biggest hurdle, wouldn't you say, is taking the first initial step, because it's almost like there's so many unknowns. There's so many things that you don't know. And sometimes we can be paralyzed by what we don't know. We can stay in that cycle of, I just don't know. So I'm not going to do anything. And that's like the biggest step.
Decisions. Yes. Yeah. Even when people buy a home, they're like, but what if something else comes up? I'm like, it may, but you have to make a decision. You have to make it.
Right. Just so for those of you that are there right now, just make the decision. And this is your gentle, well, I don't know if it's so gentle. I'm just going to push you. You'll be all right because you can do it.
Push that.
Go forward. And so now in your life right now, what does it mean to have the freedom to thrive? And why do you think it's so important for women today?
I think the experiences that I've had being an entrepreneur and then seeing it work, thank God, and going through this crazy change of being a person that was stay at home and to had someone be responsible, and now being independent, and not only being independent as far as being the sole parent for my kids, but also running my business, Right. And then now I'm a manager of a realty company here in Peachtree City. So it's a lot of responsibility. I now have the confidence in myself. I now have the confidence in okay, it could happen. And I want everyone to feel that way. And so when I do things, I know it's going to be scary, but I do believe in myself now. I do believe in myself, and I do know that I'll figure it out. If it doesn't work out, we'll go to plan B. And I take that energy with everything that I do. If you come to me and you say, Maricela, there's no houses on the market and I want something under this price point, and maybe someone else will tell you interest rates are high, maybe you should wait. And I'm like, no, we're going to figure it out, because there is it doesn't work. It has to work. We're going to figure it out. And if plan A doesn't work, then there's going to be plan B and plan C. Somewhere or other, we're going to get you where you need to be. And so I have to believe in me. I have to believe that I can get it done. And so I pass that energy on to my clients. We're going to get this done. I pass this energy on to realtors that come on. If you're someone that comes to me and you own any type of business, I'm gonna believe in you, because we all need that. We all need someone to believe in us, to get us through that, to push us. One, also to believe in us, because in the beginning, we're not going to believe in ourselves. We're going to be so scared. And you need someone else to believe in you, and you need to invest in yourself, believe in yourself, find someone else that believes in you, that's going to push you. It is super important. And then as life proves to you that you're capable, as you prove to yourself that that you can do it, it's a blessing. It really is. It's something that at 42 years old, I just experienced it in the last couple of years, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I love that. So sometimes you got to have somebody to push you, right? And and also you said about really believing in yourself, and sometimes you have to be around other people that believe in you, so that it gives you the courage and confidence to believe in yourself, to go forward, to do it. It
really does, especially when you're an entrepreneur. When I first started real estate, I call her my real estate godmother, one of my friends, and she used to be my realtor. I spoke with her, and she's like a top realtor in this community. I mean, she's been in the business a long time, and she's super amazing. And she says to me, Maricela, every year I think I want to quit. And I'm like, but you're amazing. Right. But she says, you just always have that doubt. And I'm like, I would love to sell what she sells. And it's like every year I want to quit. And so now every year that I want to quit, if I ever think I want to quit or I'm not going to make it, I remember, wait a second, even the best of the best, even the people at the top of their game, even they think, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should quit. Maybe this is, if they feel that way, it's okay for me to feel that way. We're all going to feel that way. When you do, just like in the morning, you're like, you don't want to wake up. Of course you don't want to wake up, but you're going to wake up and you're going to get up. So you have that feeling, look, maybe it's not doing the right thing. Maybe it's the year to quit. Maybe I should find a different job. Okay, cool. Acknowledge it, then let it go. But like, whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Unless you really hate your job, then you probably should do something about it. But if it's just that little voices that are getting into you, you say, that's fine. Even the best of the best, even the people at the top of their game are probably like, worried about when is this going to end, or what should I do different? I mean, it's natural. And if anything, I think it's nice because it does keep you on your toes. Well, what could I do to make myself feel better? What could I do next? Or maybe I need to be on my toes so I don't feel that way. Yes. Everything that you're saying is really about changing your perspective and your mindset, right? It makes me think of the phrase where it talks about, changing your thinking so that you can prove to yourself that this is the direction, this is the will that God has for you. Like, you have to change your thinking to prove to yourself, right? So it's about believing in yourself. It's about proving to yourself by doing it. Like, no, this is the right direction that I'm supposed to be going in. But if you don't change your thinking, you have to allow yourself, because I feel like we stop it. It's not going to work. Let me be an appraiser. It's not going to work. Like, you're stopping yourself before you even start. Right. The I can't syndrome kicks in, and then it becomes a problem because it paralyzes and stops you from moving forward. So you have definitely shared with us, how you've kind of moved through your life and what that freedom to thrive looks like. In the last few moments together, can you share with us maybe some tips of how we can begin to thrive in our lives if we find ourselves in a position where we may be stuck, or we just don't know what step to take to really walk in that freedom? I think you always have to be speaking to yourself. A lot of times we're in our head and we think that means we're thinking. We're not really asking ourselves questions. We're just worrying. What if this? What if that? What could I do? But what if we're always like in anxiety mode? But really, and one thing I've learned is like the answers, you have the answers. Just, I had several people do this. I had my college professor do this. I've had a therapist do this, and it is 100% true. you just have to take a deep breath. You know, I'm not good at meditating myself, but if you're good at meditating, do that. But if you're not, just take a deep breath and just make it quiet and ask yourself, like, what do you want? What do you want? And you'll know, like, the answer will come to you. It will. You'll see visions even. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but you will. Like, you'll the vision. What is the life you want? And it'll come to you. Like, what is the next step? Ask yourself, Maricela, what's the next step? Maricela, where do you want to be? Whatever the answer is, you're asking your inner self, which really knows more than, like, that's your gut. You need to ask your gut, one. And then two, and we always say this as a real estate agent, I always hear this, the coaches always say, you need to find your why. Like, why are you doing this? You know, you need to find your why. And whatever your why is, that is what's going to impulse you. If you, the bigger your why is, the more motivation it gives you. For me, there is no safety net. I am a mom taking care of these kids. I need to make it happen one way or other, plan A or plan B, plan C, but there is no, it's not going to happen. So you need a really strong why. What do you want? Ask yourself. And also, why do you want it? If you answer those two questions, and you should know what direction you are, and then also find the motivation to get there.
I love that. Those are some real practical steps that we can take and apply. I love the breathing. Just come on, y'all. We can even do this right now. You just take a moment, breathe in, just breathe out, just take a breath and release that stress, release that tension. Because when you hold that stress, you're withholding the answer.
Exactly. We're in our head about what the bad stuff, and not what we want.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing those tips. And as a thriving woman, what do you do for fun now? Like, because you have discovered this space for yourself and you are truly thriving. What is it that you do for fun, and how do you keep yourself moving forward?
So fun is definitely important. I feel, especially in the career that I have, I'm always giving to my kids or to my clients or to the realtors, and I do have to find stuff for myself that's only for me. And for me, I love music. I love having fun. And so before, when I was single in my 20s, I used to go to rock concerts all the time. And I became a parent, and I'm like, oh, it's too late. It's too far. Why am I spending money on this? I just stopped doing it for almost a decade. And when I became single, I found myself again. I found those passions, and I intertwined them with my current life. So I love to go to concerts, and when there's no concerts, I make concerts in town. So now we have concerts in town, and I love it, because we live in a community where sometimes there's not as much fun stuff available. So I'm like, well, then we need to change that, because I like living here. And I wanted to make it fun. And when I sell you a home, I want you to love your home, but I want you to be able to like where you live. And so I do these concerts here, and that's what I do. I'll go to concerts, and I have a group of friends. I'm in a book club. So those are the things that I do. And that's it's for me, it recharges me. And, aside from being with my kids, obviously, and going to museums and things like that, but definitely is super important to give back to yourself. And I would say not lose yourself, whether you are married, whether you're an entrepreneur. Again, always be true to you. Whatever you loved when you were 15, you probably still love it now. You're just not dedicating enough time to it. So I would suggest that.
I love it. Thank you for sharing all of what you shared today. I love the tips that you shared. I love everything that you're doing. And ladies, listen, if you are in a place in your life right now where you're surviving, it's okay. You can move from that place. If you have moved from surviving to thriving and you're walking in that freedom, we want to high five you for that, and to keep on going, continue to do the things that keep you free, keep you thriving. And Maricela, I love what you shared today. If those who are listening want to stay connected to you, or even if they're looking for a realtor in the area that you're in, please share with us how they can connect with you.
Okay, well, I am on my website, www.laverdehomes.com, but I am on Instagram as Maricela Laverde Realtor and also on Facebook. Those are the two ways that I mostly communicate with people. And yeah, please follow me. I'd love to stay connected. I'll be sharing information about the Hispanic Heritage Festival in town, also any local concerts, and of course, anything that's has to do with real estate or Peachtree City. I definitely will post it.
And where's Peachtree City located? Just so
In Georgia, Peachtree City,
Okay.
Georgia, south of Atlanta. It is the town of golf carts. And so we drive golf carts to the store to drop off kids to school, to play dates, to go out to dinner with the girlfriends. And it's in the forest. I love it.
Fantastic. Sounds like a pretty cool place. Now, if someone is looking for a home that might be outside of your service area, can they still contact you?
Yeah, so I do Fayette and Coweta County personally. That's what I focus on. But I'm at Cry Like Realtors, and we have realtors from all over Atlanta that we could definitely connect you with.
Fantastic. So she's a great resource. Y'all, if you're looking for a home, if you are inspired by some of the things that she shared, connect with Maricela, and also look into her Thriving Kit for Women. I think you're doing another one. And
yeah, it's gonna be in February, and we'll do it once a year. But if we have anything else, I'll definitely be posting it.
Awesome. Thanks for joining the Take Action podcast show. Y'all just take one step today to apply to your life so that you can be a better version of yourself. We believe in you, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Take Action podcast. I truly hope you were inspired to take massive action to being your best self. If this resonated with you, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a beat. And write a review so we can share this message with as many people as possible. Head over to my hub, NicoleSimmonsLeadership.com, for more powerful resources to help you release your potential. Make today count, take action.